Is that the cuckoo I can hear?
Yeah. It's a fantastic sound, like, you know, he made this journey about 5,000 miles from Africa, made it all the way up here and just, you know...
Where to where? Where are we? Where did this cuckoo land that we just heard on the sound
So
there?
we're really in the heart of the Burren in North Clare now. We're in the middle of this rare global landform of limestone pavement. We've got 80,000 acres of limestone pavement here. This is one of the most eccentric looking landscapes in the whole of Europe. So
it's moon-like landscape, really, isn't it?
It's a very good description in one way, lunar moonlight, but another way one could say the big difference between the moon and here is the moon has never been shaped by humankind, but this has 6,000 years of farming here is part of the reason so much of the bedrock's exposed to the atmosphere. There's two reasons so much of the bedrock's exposed to the atmosphere. One is glaciation, eroded a lot of soil up here, but the second reason is prehistoric agri-vandalism. The first farmers came in here, eroded a lot of soil and exposed a lot of bedrock by excessive deforestation, excessive farming. So it's a semi-natural landscape. One could argue it's a deeply humanised landscape. So much of bedrock here is exposed by natural phenomenon, it is glaciation, and by something quite unnatural, that's human agencies in prehistory.
So really, it would have been much more trees, much more life here, but with people coming here, farming, they've cleared that, and this is what was underneath.
Yeah, exactly.
Now, what an amazing thing to find underneath this limestone rock.
Yeah.
Must have been difficult to farm here.
Yeah,
but
well, see, in prehistory, okay, when the farmers came here 6,000 years ago, there was more soil than there is today. There was rock exposed by the glacier, but there was more soil than there is today. And the trees here were hazel and pine, and they cut them, and then they had unduly economically interfered, just over-farmed. 3,000 years ago, that's 3,000 years after they started farming, we had climate change and all. It got wetter and windier. Whoosh, you can see what's happened.
Yeah.
Loads more of the soil got washed away and loads more of the bedrock of the planet got exposed to the atmosphere.
But it's left some wonderful features here, hasn't it, on the landscape for us to enjoy today.
Well, that's the profound paradox of the Burren. It's a profoundly paradoxical landscape because usually you put the storyline together, Karina, deforestation, excessive economic pressure and climate change, it spells human and ecological catastrophe. But here, quite paradoxically, ecologically, they left us a richer landscape. They exposed more of the limestone pavement, that makes it geologically more important today. And secondly, anywhere you have limestone pavement, it's floristically very rich. So it's of world consequence for geology and botany, and quite paradoxically, that's partly due to prehistoric agri-vandalism.
Amazing. And can you tell us a little bit about this wonderful floral landscape that we have literally at our feet here?
Yeah, and it's the Burren in bloom now, and it's one of Europe's great annual natural history events. And that flower you're looking at there is a Mediterranean species in origin. It's called Geranium sanguineum. Bloody crane's bill in English. It's a Burren speciality, which means the Burren is one of its most prolific stations in Great Britain and Ireland. Here's another Mediterranean species in origin. It's Caroline thistle. It'll burst into little kind of purple florets, look like sea urchins in a little while. This one's called cat's paws. It's a vernacular name for it. And this one is it's a potentilla, potent emphasising its medicinal value as well, because we're surrounded here by medicine. Speaking of medicines, one of the most famous plants in herbalism is St. John's wort, and this is St. John's wort perforate, and one of its many excellent natural remedies is for mild depression, and that'll flower around St. John the Baptist feast day, 25th of June, and that's why it's so called. You can have up to 28 plant species in 1 square metre here.
Oh wow, and you were mentioning as well, Tony, that some of the plants here love the sun, and so they're up on the rocks, and then other places like here in the fissures, you've got the shade-loving plants.
Yeah, like Corinne, you've only moved one pace and you've gone from light-loving plants to shade-loving ones. It's quite remarkable. This is Ireland's most elegant fern, and it's called Hart's tongue fern. The lip of it curls up like the lip of a deer, because Hart is an old Saxon name for deer. And you have mosses there as well. You have ivy. Now, what all these plants I've just named have in common is that they like to grow in forests. So what on earth are they doing in the fissures of the rock here? And the answer is, in the fissures of the rock here, they have a facsimile of forest conditions. Deep shade, high humidity, and protection from things they don't like the wind and grazing from animals.
Oh, that's absolutely fantastic. We're going to just have a look around here, Tony, and enjoy this landscape with these wonderful flowers and plants.
Karina,
Thank you. Thanks very much.
Welcome. Yeah.
Yeah.